Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my bedroom to my husband's sister, even if it means tearing his family apart? If you asked my mother-in-law, she'd say yes. She'd say, I'm a cold, selfish woman who values 4 walls more than blood. My husband, Mark, hasn't looked me in the eye for 3 days. To them, I'm the villain of this story. But there's a reason I'm staying in this room. A reason that sounds so insane, I haven't even told Mark. Because if I do, I'm not just a jerk. I'm a mad woman. But I need to tell someone. I need to tell you. Let's go back. 2 years ago, Mark and I bought this house. It's an old Ghibli-style cottage on the edge of town, overgrown with ivy. It was cheap, suspiciously cheap. The previous owner was an elderly woman named Mrs. Halloway. When she handed me the keys, her hands were shaking. She didn't say congratulations. She whispered, "Don't change the wallpaper in the master suite. Some things are better left covered." At the time, we laughed it off. We spent months renovating. But this specific room, the one with the large circular window and the view of the woods, always felt different. Not cold, exactly. Just occupied, like the air had a weight to it. Then came the news. Mark's sister, Sarah, lost her job and her apartment. She's sensitive, as they say. She needs a quiet place to recover. My mother-in-law called a family meeting and basically announced that Sarah would be moving into my room because it's the most healing space in the house. I was expected to move my office and my bed into the cramped windowless guest nook downstairs. I tried to be reasonable. I offered to help her find a place. I offered her the guest room. But Sarah threw a tantrum. She wanted this room. And that's when the pressure started. But here's what they don't know. About 6 months ago, I was cleaning behind the heavy oak wardrobe, the one that came with the house. I found a seam in the wood. It wasn't a wall, it was a door. A tiny, narrow door hidden by layers of old floral wallpaper. Driven by curiosity, I peeled a bit of the paper away and opened it. Behind it isn't a crawl space. It's a room that shouldn't exist. It defies the geometry of the house. It's a small study filled with jars of dried flowers that haven't faded in decades, and a single chair facing a mirror. The first night I found it, I had a dream. I saw a girl who looked exactly like me, sitting in that chair. But her eyes weren't blue, they were gold. She told me, "I am the anchor. If I leave, the house drifts away." Since then, I felt a tether. I'm not just living here. I'm protecting something. Or perhaps something is protecting me. The family dinner was the breaking point. Mark stood up and said, "Yuki, stop being difficult. Sarah is crying every night. It's just a room." I looked at Sarah. She was smirking behind her tissue. She doesn't want the room for healing. She wants it because she's always taken what's mine. But as I looked at her, I felt a surge of genuine fear. Not for myself, but for her. The gold-eyed Yuki from my dreams. She's not friendly. She's a guardian. She's the reason the ivy grows so thick and the birds sing so loud around this house. She told me that the room belongs to a quiet guest, and the guest does not like new faces. Last night, I caught Sarah trying to sneak into the room while I was in the shower. As she reached for the handle, the lights in the entire hallway shattered. Not just flickered, exploded. Sarah screamed, claiming I must have rigged the electronics to scare her. Mark blamed my negativity. He told me that if I don't let her move in by Sunday, he's moving out with her. So here I am, sitting on my beanbag, looking at that wardrobe. I can hear a faint scratching coming from behind the hidden door. It sounds like someone or something is sharpening its nails. If I stay, I'll lose my husband. My in-laws will never speak to me again. I'll be the crazy, selfish wife in every family story for the next 20 years. But if I leave, if I let Sarah sleep in this bed, I'm afraid of what will be waiting for her behind that floral wallpaper. I'm afraid that once the quiet guest realizes I'm gone, it won't stay in the hidden room anymore. It'll come out into the rest of the house. So, Reddit, tell me, am I the asshole for holding my ground? Should I tell Mark about the hidden room and the girl with the gold eyes, knowing he'll try to commit me to a psych ward? Or do I let his sister have exactly what she asked for and let her face the consequences? While I was waiting for Sunday to arrive, I posted my story on a popular forum. The comments were polarized, and some of them honestly made my blood run cold. Here is what people are saying. User throwaway _99 writes, OP, you're definitely burying the lead here. The fact that Mrs. Halloway told you not to change the wallpaper means the wallpaper is a seal. If your sister-in-law decides to redecorate, or even just peels a corner off, you aren't just losing a room, you're opening a door you can't close. Get out of that house and take your husband with you. Then, there's this one from mountain_bird. You're being the jerk here, OP. You're choosing to believe in fairy tales and ghosts while your own family is struggling. It's just old wiring and your overactive imagination. Let Sarah stay for a week and you'll see that nothing happens. Stop being selfish and grow up. User Old Hickory _Cottage shared this. My grandfather was the carpenter who worked on that house in the 50s. He told me they didn't build that hidden room. They built a house around it. He said the wood used for that specific wardrobe came from a tree that had been struck by lightning 7 times. He quit the job halfway through because he kept hearing a girl's voice asking him to let the light in. OP, whatever you do not let Sarah change the lighting in that room. The shadows are the only thing keeping it contained. Then there's logic. First _Sarah, who is clearly on my sister-in-law's side. This is classic gaslighting. You're using spooky stories to justify your territorial behavior. Exploding light bulbs? That's just a power surge in an old house. You're scaring a vulnerable woman just so you don't have to share your Ghibli aesthetic room. You should be ashamed. If I were Mark, I'd leave you too. But then I found a private message from a deleted account. No username, just a string of numbers. It said, check the mirror in the hidden room. Look at the reflection of the door. If the door in the mirror is open, but the real door is closed, it's already too late. She's already picked her next host, and it isn't Sarah. I haven't gone back into the hidden room since I read that. I'm staring at the wardrobe right now, and I can see the mirror reflecting the corner of my bed. I'm too terrified to look any further.